Hey, welcome back. We have a knife. I think this is the last of this insane week of buying that I did while I was on vacation. This that I'll be opening it up with is the Demco 80-20.5 standard Grivery and OS 10A variant. You can get them pretty much everywhere. But I'm gonna need to do some of this opening off the screen because of private information. Not that it's super private, but I'd just rather not make my life any harder than it has to be in general. And I was able to pick up quite a few knives, and this is one of them. So let's get this guy out here. That is a tactile knife. This thing has some additional stuff in the box I wasn't expecting. A lot of stickers and stuff. I like that one, that's fun. Boom. A lot of advertisements. My God, never seen so many advertisements. I'm trying to remember what this is. I thought this was a private sale, but I could be wrong based on all the stuff that's in here. Oh, I know what this is. Okay. I was like, what is going on here? Traditional pocket knives. That's the one I was looking for. Now I know what this is, which variant this is. It took me a second to register what was going on here. So this is a very cool variant. Unfortunately, that box was a little unglued there. Okay, it looks fine now. It just got pulled up a little bit, but it seems to be fine. So this is the Bexar Magna Cut, and it's the jigged version, which I think is, this one really stood out to me as probably the best looking. Ooh, how cool is that? Let's get it out of here, feel it in hand. And if you're not familiar, they make this in a full tie version. They make this in like an Ultim version. They have all sorts of different versions of this. But this one's pretty darn sweet, and it feels really nice in hand. That's you know, if you think about what this knife is, that variant is pretty darn cool, I have to say. So let's get some of this stuff out of here. And what do we want to do with this? Let's compare it to a few other variants from these guys. Gotta find my little bear collection here. Boom and boom. All right, so you're looking at the Jigged traditional pocket knives exclusive. This is the Ultim, which is also very cool. Super light. This thing weighs in at only 1 ounce, barely over an ounce, even with this lanyard on it. Very cool variant there. Let's go ahead and throw this over here, and we'll throw that there. Okay, and then we got this one here, which is the standard version. Which I really love also. I think that one's really nice. It's nice and solid in the hand. It's smooth. And it reminds me a lot, of course, of its, I don't know if I'd call it a big brother or not, but of its more fidgety brother, the Tactile Knife Co. Rockwall thumb stud. Sorry, I was thinking about two things at once there, so it wasn't coming to me. But yeah, this jigged one, pretty nice, pretty well put together, and just quite a looker. That is just a really neat finish. It's really well done. Kind of goes right up to the edge and stuff. You can see the difference here of these two. But I gotta say, I'm impressed. That is beautiful. I believe this is a new inbox. Yeah. You know, Magna Cut, super slicey looking. Let's see if we can just let's put these guys to the test, because I will say they're not a perfect company. They're pretty new at this stuff, and they have made some mistakes along the way. There's a lot of things that they do really well. The tolerances of their knives, the ability to manufacture is really cool, but they've been criticized on a few fronts, including the edge. So let's see how this edge is here. Not a problem. Guess they got this one right. So I don't know if traditional pocket knives helped them out on that, or if they did it themselves, or, you know, this is obviously one of their newer variants. They probably have gotten enough feedback to get it right. But let's go back to the old one and see how that is. Yeah, see? This older one. Now, I don't remember what this story was on this one. If I got it, I think it is a little bit used, so it might just be a little worn in. Yeah, it's probably just that it's used. I did get this one new during Black Friday, so let's see how it does by comparison. Yeah, so not, I'm gonna just put it in a slightly new spot, fresh. I'm just gonna hold it to make sure I'm not making a mistake, but yeah, not as slicey. So this one's a little sweetie. Now, here it is not working at this point, but it's probably user error at this point more than anything. Ignore me. Let's zoom in a little bit on these guys, because they are some pretty beautiful knives. Those are the variants. And I'm not going to overdo it on these. Like, I think these three kind of do it for me, and this is not really my style knife, to be honest. It's nice little backup knife and stuff, and certainly with Magna Cut and everything makes a nice user, but this isn't, these are more collectors for me than they are anything else. So now the thing is about being a collector, you're likely to be wrong if you say you're done at some point. So I should probably renege that last statement and just say, hey, look, it's another variant. We'll see what ends up happening. No, that's a probably more accurate assessment of the situation. But yeah, really nice job, Tactile Knife Co. on this finish, I have to say. If you were not like the biggest fan of this and you wanted something that's a little less like modern, and if you know their pens, that's sort of more of a match for their tactile turn pens. It's not an exact match, but it's very similar to it. And I did end up, I don't think I've shared that before, but I did end up throwing the Timascus bolt on that. I think it adds a nice little flair on the pen. This one, though, kind of gives you that feel of the old school Jigged with the new school Magna Cut and titanium and stuff. You kind of get best of both worlds a little bit there, so that's pretty sweet. You know, I think their action is fine on these. At the end of the day, they're all pretty simple, right? They're not fidgety. They're users, or I should say just functional in what they do when it comes to a slip joint like this. And they do a good job on these. So there's not a lot of slip joints you can get in Magna Cut with such a, these weigh about 1.8 ounces in the titanium. This one, I'd imagine, is milled out, so it might weigh a little less. We'll throw it on a scale as sort of a last part of this video, and then we can call it. So you can maybe make a guess now on whether, now this one does have a lanyard on it. It's a little leather one, but which one's gonna weigh less? I'm gonna guess this weighs less. Most of what I've seen in titanium, people mill out rather than start with something bigger, and we will see if I'm right or not. Because the milling is certainly more substantial here. Now these parts don't have milling on it, but we'll see. It'd be nice if this didn't have a lanyard on it. That would help. Let's take that lanyard off. I'm not a big fan of that guy anyways. That'll make this a better weigh-in test. So this one weighs a little over 1.8 ounces. This one's 1.85. And we'll see where this one tips the scale once I have the leather lanyard off of it. All right, and that just came right off. Took a little bit of work, but it's off of there now. So 1.85 versus 1.81. So I was wrong. That does actually weigh a tad bit more. You know, not to me a significant difference, but slightly heavier. That could be, you know, when you're talking about such a minute difference, that could be one versus another. You never know. And that's 1.06 even with the lanyard on it. So it's probably just around 1 ounce without it. There you have it. Really nice little jig knife there, and certainly, you know, the fit and finish, what I had hoped and expected from them. So recommendable from a perspective of fit and finish. Obviously, you got to decide if this is the style and the knife that you want or whatever versus the other options that they have out there. But it is pretty sweet. So yeah, Tactile Knife Co is doing some cool stuff. Again, I have my criticisms for them here and there. Newer knife company, but it's made in the US, and there's definitely a lot to be said about the goodness of what they're doing here. So give a thumbs up for the result on this one. I think they did a good job. And traditional pocket knives, of course, you know, bringing it to market. So good job there as well. All right, that is all for now. Please like, subscribe, comment if there's something I missed that you think viewers should know. And I will see you on the next one. Take care.